Well, South Carolina is one of several states across the country suing Meta, that's Facebook's parent company. The lawsuit's accusing the social media giant of knowing they have features that harm children and just not doing anything about it. Attorney generals for 42 states say the company designed and used features that purposefully addict children and teens. They also say Meta falsely told the public the features are safe for young users. South Carolina's AG Alan Wilson says, in part, quote, "Protecting our children is one of our most important jobs, and that's exactly what we're trying to do with these lawsuits. We can't stand by and do nothing while big tech continues to engage in behavior that knowingly harms our children and breaks the law," end quote. We've reached out to Meta. They told us, quote, "We share the Attorney General's commitment to providing teens with safe, positive experiences online and have already introduced over 30 tools to support teens and their families. We're disappointed that instead of working productively with companies across the industry to create change or to create clear age-appropriate standards for the many apps teens use, the attorneys general have chosen this path," end quote.